Ba bee da boo da boo, ba bee da boo da boo.
Alright guys, so this next title I didn't know anything about. I purposely don't look at the description of the game. I just saw that it was free demo, so it's kind of funny that they call a demo for free. Just old school on there. Yeah, this game is actually Steel Rats, and this is a side scroller, kind of like Contra was back in the day. It's a side scroller, 2D platformer kind of thing. But man, did it blow me away! I did not know what to expect. I really didn't. Like I said, I didn't look at the description of the game. But this is a game that I think you guys need to be checking out. This is like I said, a 2D platformer kind of game. But you're on a motorcycle and you're just going through this kind of darkish like scenario. I liked it. I really did. The controls kind of threw me off because instead of pushing forward and backward, you had to push up and down to move up and to the second level, or top and bottom half of the level. So I didn't know what to expect from this game, but I was pleasantly surprised. Man, if you can pull off some of these moves, I highly recommend it. These moves are actually really cool. I was kind of stumbling around with the controls and stuff like that. But this is a game that you guys need to check out. Definitely check this one out. It's Steel Rats, side-scrolling motorcycle adventure, kind of like a Streets of Rage kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, once you get used to the controls, man, this is going to be a game that you guys will probably have a lot of fun with. And I know I'm going to be checking it out. Just the one thing is, like, yeah, you have to get used to the controls in it and stuff like that. But this is a game that was very, very fun. It's just one of those games you can jump right in, just mindless fun, blowing things up, animals, robots. I don't know if there's zombies in there or whatever, but it's pretty cool. It has a decent enough soundtrack to it. Actually, the soundtrack was really good, but with a decent enough voice acting and stuff like that. This is a game that really pulled me in, and that's why I love the fact that games will actually give you demos. Just getting used to the controls and stuff is going to be something that you're probably going to have to. If you probably won't struggle as much as I did, but yeah, this is a game that's why I love the fact that when these games come out with demos. This is one of the reasons why, because you can try the game, you can look at it, you can see them put their best foot forward in most cases. And man, this is a game that I didn't have on my radar until I actually downloaded the demo, and this is a game that I'm definitely going to be checking out later on. Steel Rats, beautiful choppers, beautiful gameplay. Like I said, I just got to get used to controls a little bit better, but this is a cool game. It's a dark setting. I'm not sure of much about the game as far as like the story and stuff, but I know you're fighting a lot of robots in here, and but this is actually a game that looks really cool. Not really been into motorcycles all that much in my life, but this is actually a really, really cool game, and you guys definitely need to check this out. Just get used to the controls and stuff like that. And you do, it looks a lot like those what was that game with 2B, the robot girl? I know I played it here on the channel, but I completely forgot. But those robots actually look a lot alike, like the robots that are here in this game. But this is definitely one that you need to check out. It's free. Go ahead and download it. Alright, so switching over to a different genre, this I did not know what I was getting myself into when I downloaded it. It's called Drowning the Demo. So this is a game that I had absolutely no idea what I was going to get myself into. I did it on purpose so I can see what I was actually going to be playing next. So at first I was like, what in the world am I playing? This just doesn't make any sense. But it tackles a very serious subject, and that's the subject of depression. So this is a game that's like a walking simulator. You're walking around through a level. Beautifully done. Low polygon count levels. It looks like you're mainly in this islands and stuff like that, which seems pretty cool. The music drops in and out and fades and cuts off really harshly in certain areas, which I kind of wish they would have played the piano a little bit better and not cut it off so harshly, because there's certain places where it just abruptly cuts off. But low polygon count, environment. I like this. I was like, what in the world was I doing? I thought I was walking somewhere to do something special, but that's the premise of the game. It's a kid who was struggling with depression through his early years in middle school, which what they count as year 8 and what we refer to as like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade here in the U.S. With middle school and stuff like that. Going through depression. I didn't actually captivate that until later on, so I was like, where am I going? What is all this all about? It's a really short game. I think it only has like 10 levels in it, or it might be even less than that, but I think it's only 2 hours worth of gameplay, but it's like $2.99, so I think this is a game that is definitely worth looking into. It's just, it could have been done just a little bit better. The words on the screen appear and they sound like they're being typed out by a typewriter. But I like the fact that they tackle such an important premise, which is depression and stuff like that. So after halfway through the game, I was like, what in the world am I doing in this game? What am I supposed to do? But it's just it's kind of like a inner monologue that this character is having with himself. And at first I thought it was just someone who was being really ignorant and really really harsh on the other person, but then I found out what it was all about. So this is a game that you definitely want to go ahead and check out. I don't think it's more than 238 megabytes, so that's not that big of a file. You can download that really easily. It might be anywhere from 200 to 600, but definitely if you're interested in this, is a game that opens up eyes and helps people out to realize that they're not alone in the world. And I think it's actually a really good thing. The game itself is not as good as I would like for it to have been, but with the promise that it does tackle, I think that's very important. So that's Drowning, the demo. So switching over to a lighthearted adventure game, well, it's actually a platformer kind of game, is Songbird Symphony. This is actually a cute game. Wonderfully done. The artwork is spectacular. The gripe that I have with it, I didn't really like, is the controls are off a little bit. Though sometimes you can't control the character all that well, and you're prompted. So it's kind of like these not quick time events, but you have to do it like the Dance Rhythm, Dance Revolution, DJ Max kind of game, where you're pressing a certain button to get as high a score as you can. But the characters are absolutely lovable. The way the game was presented, I actually love this game. Even though the controls threw me way off, I could deal with those controls because of the fact that this game was absolutely cute. You're rocking around as this little bird who's rescued by, I think, a peacock. So you're finding your place in the world. It's a 2D platformer. Great art style. It reminds me of a reminiscent of that 16-bit art style. Low pixel count kind of adventure. But this is so cool. So you get to dance with your Uncle P there, and you have to really do like a. It's really lighthearted. It's wonderful. It's a game that you definitely need to check out. So I highly recommend that. It's the Songbird Symphony, a game that lighthearted, and I love it. I love the fact that this game exists. I wish more games existed like that, which is pretty cool. I just wish that the controls were just a little bit tighter and a little bit easier to manage. And yeah, I love the way the little guy dances. He's pretty cool. This is a game that I definitely recommend that you check it out. Wonderful music. Oh my goodness. So from Drowning, the beautiful symphony of like the piano being played, to this, where it just feels like you're like playing like some sort of samba in Brazil or something like that. This is actually a wonderful little game that I highly recommend you guys checking it out. It's not that big of a download. I forgot how big the file was. Maybe 2.5 gigs, anywhere around there. But this is definitely, I wish they would have let you play a little bit more like the Japanese titles, like an hour or something. But I know this game is probably not that big of a game, but, as far as time-wise. But I think that this is really, really cool. You definitely need to check this one out. Songbird Symphony, a game that I did not have on my radar until I started playing this demo. And that's exactly why I like the fact that demos exist, because it gives you a better idea of what's going on out there. You can trade in AAA titles for these indie titles that are absolutely wonderful to play. Alright guys, so next up on the list is Rainbow Skies, the second game after Rainbow Moon, which I currently own. Cool. I like the fact that they've actually upgraded the graphics and stuff when you're opening up the game in the tavern and stuff like that. It does give me that sort of Cloud Skies kind of vibe to it. A little bit also of Dragon Quest Builders, just the way it's presented somewhat, but it's so much more different. It's a top-down strategy game that you actually play with cute little characters. You really have to look into this game a little bit more to see if you're going to like it. It has a different kind of art style, which is beautifully done, but the gameplay is a little bit different. It is sort of this action-adventure RPG where top-down strategy also, that you have to walk around and work around with the animations and stuff like that when you're fighting in the game, and it's a little bit different. It's a little bit weirder. I don't know how to describe it that much, but I have Rainbow Moon. I haven't finished it because it sometimes doesn't hold my attention as much as I would like, but this is a beautiful art style to it. Just the way you actually do a lot of the combat is that you run into these animals in the real world, or in the game screen, and then you have to actually tile-based combat. So you get next to them if you want to, and that's the way the whole combat system actually works, which is pretty cool. It's a cute game, but you just have to really want to want to be into this game. It is a sort of RPG, action RPG, so I do recommend you checking this out. I don't think it was that big of a download. It might have been 5 gigabytes, but I can't really remember. So this is a game that art style, it is pretty cool. It has an interesting premise to it. It does feel like more of a mobile game. I guess that's why I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. So I think that's why it's a simple game, but it's pretty cool. You know, you have to really want to get into that. So that's Rainbow Skies for you guys. Alright guys, so I've actually had this game for quite a while. This is called DJ Max Respect, the demo. And it's a sort of Guitar Hero, Dance Dance Revolution kind of game. It's a musical rhythm kind of game where you have to match the cymbals with what's going on in the music. And I have to say, man, I enjoyed it. And I think it's more because of the soundtracks, the way they present stuff. And the animation is pretty cool in the background. It's really neat. So I love the music. So this was actually a game that I had a lot of fun with. I'm not really any good at it. So I think the difficulty was a little bit ramped up and stuff like that. But other than that, I think it's a pretty cool game, and I think you guys should check it out. I'm not going to play too much of the music because of the fact that I don't want to get copyright striked. But it's one of the coolest little games I played in a while. So it's this rhythm-based game where you can actually you have these prompts and stuff. You have to match it up with the music, and I have to say I kind of enjoyed it. It's not as good as Dance Dance Revolution kind of games or Guitar Hero. But it is up there. It is one of those games that you want to definitely check out if you're into this rhythm kind of games, which I definitely am. I really like listening to music and stuff. So this is a cool game. I wish the difficulty was a little bit different. It wasn't as bad for someone that doesn't play as good as I am. So yeah, it has a different kind of music. So it doesn't have like the music that you would definitely recognize. But it does have really good music in it. So this is a game that I definitely would recommend. It's DJ Max Respect, the demo. Alright guys, so next up on the list is my most favorite that I have played on this whole entire game and this whole entire video is Battle Chef Brigade. I saw this game being advertised a while back on Steam, but the pictures didn't do it any quality. It doesn't do it a whole lot of service, so I kind of ignored this game. But when I played the demo, oh my goodness, this one actually kind of blew me away. This is a game that it has a lot of mixture to it. It has a 2D platformer, it has puzzles, and it has this wonderful art style. Like, it's all hand-drawn animation. Seems like, I believe it is all hand-drawn. This is wonderful. So you have to go and collect different ingredients and battle that out to be the battle chef of the kingdom and stuff like that. I cannot highly recommend this one enough. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun with the characters, the way the game was just built. I wish I would have paid attention to it months ago when I saw it on Steam. But this is a game that I definitely need you guys to go ahead and download it. This is a game that I had so much fun playing. It's the deluxe edition, and oh my goodness, it has a wonderful little story. It does have kind of a comic book feel to it at times, but when you get into the game itself, it has wonderful characters. The premise of the game, the way the game is just set out to play, it's awesome. This is a game that I'm definitely going to pick up as soon as I can. This is a Battle Chef Brigade. And man, I had so much fun. Just the characters and stuff. It does give me that Tetris kind of feel to it when you do the puzzling and stuff like that. And then you go into the backyard and gather all of the ingredients, and that's fighting these cute little fluffy animals. You're beating them up to cook them later on. But it doesn't have anything like, no dark kind of premise to it. So it has a wonderful little game. I actually really enjoy it. So you have different ways of combining chef plates and stuff like that. You meet these crazy, strange characters all over the place. So the way you gather them is just as like this 2D kind of platformer, Castlevania kind of feel to it. But this is a game that I highly recommend out of all of the games that I've actually showed you. This is a game that definitely deserves to be up there in a list of gamers, because this is a fun game. I wish I could have played just a little bit more. They didn't let you play as much as the demo as I would have hoped for. I think I played like 30 minutes, which was plenty. But I was addicted to this game as soon as I got into it. You create these plates, these recipes and stuff like that. You even have to go into the academy and help out around the town and stuff like that, cooking up. Feeling like you're the 5-star chef in there. So it's really, really cool. This is a game that I really happily would recommend and enjoyed it. And this is definitely a game that is number one on the list. This is definitely the one that I would say, hey, if you guys only have space for one game, this is a game that you need to check out. So much fun, great character development, absolutely awesome premise. This is definitely the one that I can't remember how big the file was, but yeah, this is definitely my higher least recommendation. It does take a little bit getting used to, like flipping around the ingredients and the puzzle type of atmosphere, and then the combat feels so smooth, so wonderful, absolutely great. It kind of feels like Dead Cells, really smooth and stuff, just like Dead Cells is the with combat, but definitely highly recommended.
Mina Han loves dreaming up adventurous new dishes at her family restaurant. Hailed in her town as the Iron Stomach, she's sure to serve up intriguing creation. The Iron Stomach's done it. Mina Han wins!
Yeah!
Alrighty guys, so we're getting near the end of the list, and this is a little bit different from what I expected from the series. Typically these are like visual novel type of games, so this one was a welcome addition to the game. I was like, okay, it's probably just going to be visual novel, because I kind of saw how it was being presented here in the screen and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, it's a typical visual novel. But then you started getting into the combat, and then you started I'm like, oh wow, this actually feels like a Dynasty Wars type of game. I had so much fun. The way the characters were they're being overall crazy. The Kokobo, which is or Kokopoo, it's over the top. It's very Japanese in nature, and I had absolutely so much fun switching between the characters, and I thought this was actually really cool. I kind of wish they would let you play a little bit more, because you can only play like 10 to 12 minutes the first level or the first actual battle. I wish they would let you play just a little bit more. But this is a game that just reminds me of that Dynasty Warriors. It just has a goofiness about it. I absolutely love this game, and I'll probably be checking it out as soon as I can. This is actually definitely a game that I put on my radar now, and hopefully I'll be able to play it even more sooner. It's just over the top zaniness. So cool. So I actually really enjoy this. Urawa Rerumono Zan, the trial version. So this is actually one of the definite that I highly recommend. So yeah, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed me putting this video together. Definitely we're going to go through that. So the ones that I definitely recommend are on the top of the list are Battle Chef Brigade. That is definitely number one for my recommendations. Second of all, it would be this game right here, Urawa Rerumono, which is a mouthful, but this is actually a really fun game. I love if you had like over the top zaniness and stuff like that, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. Then is Judgment, a little bit more serious in nature. This is definitely a game that I would highly recommend. And also Songbird Symphony. That's actually a game that really cute. Like I said, the game controls are a little bit different, but a little bit wacky. But I think you guys are definitely going to recommend that. And Croc's World Run and Bear With Me, The Lost Robots was a kind of a different kind of feel to it. I wish that these games would have been a little bit better, but yeah, that's just my opinion on them, and I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you do, leave a like and subscribe. So anyways, I'm Life for God. I will see you guys in the next episode. I'm signing out now. I will see you when I see you.
Exhausted. This was only my first match. I'm gonna have to pace myself here. I haven't even realized till now that I'm hungry. I cooked all day and didn't eat anything for myself.